Thank you, and welcome to the Board of Elections and Registration Board meeting today, August 11th. It's 5 o'clock, and we call this meeting to order. May I have approval of the agenda by our board member, please?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, so properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, awesome. So the agenda is approved. Please note today we will be going into executive session to talk about a legal matter. So more to come there. So next, citizen comment. And before we discuss citizen comment, if you all can make sure you're on mute if you're not talking, that would be great. At this time, do we have any citizen comment?
Madam Chair, we had no citizens to turn in citizen comments at this time prior to this meeting.
Thank you, Director Kidd. Next is the approval of minutes for July 14th. May I have a motion by the board for approval?
This is Maurice Hurry. I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as provided.
Second. Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Next, we will go into felon hearings.
Madam Chair and the board, we had 32 felon letters that were mailed to individuals the system had identified as potentially having a felony. Information informing them of their right to submit documentation to contest the fact. As of this meeting, none of these individuals have submitted any of their documentation or requested to appear before this board.
Great, thank you for that update. Any questions from the board?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Director Kidd, I know in our last meeting, it says that we had not received the July letters from the state yet.
Yes, so these essentially are those notifications. So essentially, they were July, and they have the time of the next board meeting to submit information. So we're essentially probably a month behind at this point. I anticipate we will get another batch of letters probably within this next week or so from the state as they run those felon notifications through the state system.
Okay, so the state kind of lags. I'm not.
It's a process that they turn on, that they do a cross state match between a county's elections rolls and the Bureau of Investigation and other legal entities in the state, but it's not run at the exact same time every month. So if it's run in a time frame where the voters do not have at least 30 days between when they will be receiving the letter and the meeting, then we shift it to the next meeting.
Okay, thank you, Director. I yield.
Thank you. Any more questions from the board? All right, thank you, Director Kidd. Next is Office Operations Report.
Office Operations Report will start with Mr. Mbala.
So regarding the SPLOST update, our office has been working with the county attorneys to produce legal notifications required to call a special election. This special election is to add a question to the November ballot issuing a special purpose local option sales tax, a SPLOST. The call for this election has run in the Douglas County Sentinel. There is a legal requirement to run this ad containing the language that will be used on the ballot 4 more times in October. And the call has also been posted and available to the general public on the county website under qualified candidates.
Great, thank you, Malcolm.
The next part of the Office Operations Report is me. The state of Georgia has decided to update the voter registration system. This update will take place in February of 2023, but prior to this launch date, they're requiring all county directors to attend a mandatory 3-day training session in Athens in January 2023. This training is required for a county office to maintain its certification as an elections office in the state of Georgia. This conference will be held January 4th through the 6th. The next part of our office operations report, if there are no questions on this matter, will be Ms. Heather.
Is then before Heather starts, for that 3-day mandatory training, is it just staff or can board attend as well, board members?
It'll just be the staff, but after this initial meeting, they will be setting up regional training sessions, to which I believe we probably will be able to have board members present at those. But because this initial one is for your certification, I think that they wanted to make sure the directors got it first, and we'll be getting just an overview of everything, and then they will conduct regional trainings throughout the state. When they do post the schedule for those regional trainings, I will inform this board of those dates and times.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll have Ms. Heather, and I don't think we had a pleasure to meet, but Heather.
Hi, how are you, Maisha?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. At its own discretion, the Secretary of State's office may require individual counties to do list maintenance activities. This particular confirmation notice was produced based off of individuals who submitted a change of address form to the Postal Service but had not yet completed their voter registration record. Douglas County received 813 of these records to review and process. Douglas County has processed all of these records with the exception of the records that require verification of address with Douglas County's GIS department. Any voters affected by this change will receive a new precinct card with their new voter demographic information listed.
Thank you for that update. Any questions from the board? Okay, so hearing none, anything else additional? Thank you, Heather.
This concludes office operations report at this time.
Great, thank you. And next is old business. Anything here?
The office has no old business to address at this time.
Any new business?
We have no new business to address at this time.
Okay. Any board member concerns?
I just have a couple of quick questions. Do we have any timing, like timeline or schedule nailed down, Director Kidd, for the LNA testing for November?
The LNA testing, August 10th was the last day to submit questions to the ballot to be held in conjunction with the November election that occurred on yesterday. As Mr. Umbala stated, we transferred over our question that the county is asking. So typically the way it works is once that process is complete, the ballot builders with the state will begin to build your ballot and to notify you when we will be going through the process of ballot proofing. Once ballot proofing is done, we will have a signed off ballot. You need your signed off ballot to get your database to set up your time frame for logic and accuracy testing. Right now, we have a tentative time frame just based off of conducting previous elections that we're probably looking at a logic and accuracy testing around the 3rd week of September.
And then the second question is, have you been given any additional guidance from Secretary of State's office or any other additional legislation around the drop boxes?
The mandate behind the drop boxes, we're still operating under Senate Bill 202, which required a county to have one drop box located inside the main office. We're still acting under that legislation. We have not had any updates at this time based off of that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle and Director Kidd. Next, may I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss a legal matter. We will not take a vote during this time. So is there a motion from a board member?
Madam Chair, if the board, if it's the will of the board, while they make that motion, if they can make a part of the motion to, once we exit executive session, to conclude the meeting as one motion, then we don't have to come out of the executive session to come back to another meeting to end it.
That would be, I need direction from the legal team because I think that was a question we had before, whether we can do that. But if we can do that, that'd be perfect. Yes. So, legal team, can we do that today?
My recommendation would be to just come out because the public is waiting and we want to make sure that we're sure the public no vote was taken or that they, if something comes up that we need to vote on, the meeting is still adjourned. It only takes a couple of minutes, and my recommendation would be to go ahead and come out and do it. Just to make sure that if there's something we need to vote on, that we still have a session. There may not be, I don't suspect there will be, but as we talk about and provide this update, you never know. And I think that's the safest thing to do in this instance. And I don't mean to. And before we go in, I wanted to just also offer that, we had a real scramble earlier this week, on our SPLOS election documents. And we had to have a special call meeting because of some last minute negotiation changes. And we had to really scramble to get the publication done and get the call set. And we would never have done it without Milton's help, as well as Mr. Mbala, but they were really troopers and stepping up and helping us to get that done. And I wanted to just inform you guys of that and how much help they provided and how critical that was to the county, and thank them for that. So that was the last thing I wanted to say before the executive session.
Thank you so much for sharing that, attorney. So kudos to Milton and Malcolm. They always do a great job. Very responsive, very timely. So in submitting giving the information that's needed. Thank you for sharing that. So
it was very important. Thank you.
You're welcome. So at this time, we will go into executive session to discuss a legal matter. The goal is not to take a vote. However, after the executive session, we will come back to this meeting to give an update. So is there a motion this time?
I make a motion that we go into executive session.
I'll second it.
It's been properly. Yes, that's what we discussed.
In the motion.
Yes, correct. That's the motion to discuss the legal matter.
Yes.
So it's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. So with that, we are going into executive session. We'll be back momentarily.
You are back. The floor is yours.
Thank you, and we're back. It's 5:27. We had an executive session where we talked about a legal matter, and we did not take a vote, so I did want to share that. Our next regular board meeting is Thursday, September 8th at 5 o'clock p.m. Same place, same time, same location, virtually. So we hope to see you then. Before we adjourn, are there any questions, concerns? Okay, so hearing none, may we have a motion to adjourn at 5:27 p.m.?
So moved.
Thank you, Bob. Have a great evening, everyone, and a weekend ahead.